we the ones who late. Now family, we the ones who gotta delegate. Get that money in the power, never be fake. Stick to cosign for 3. What did he say? Create jobs, support our own. Educate the same and buy back your home. Got 3 degrees, triple 10. 3 PhDs, now we on the CNN. DBTV, let's talk about negligence. Ignorance is bliss, but we can turn it to intelligence. Believe none of what you hear, half of what you see. Let's break it down here on Dr. Boy's TV. Here we are.
And we're actually going to talk a little bit about all the stuff that's going on and the research I've been doing in terms of what's been happening, not just with the economy, but also just with society and with life at large. And so as you come in, please hit the thumbs up button, hit the share button, hit the subscribe button. And I want you guys to know that that drboystv.com, it is the home for intelligent black people. So if you're not black and intelligent, you probably want to get the fuck out. We don't have much time for racists. Sorry, my stuff just fell down. We don't have a lot of space for racists, and we don't have a lot of space for black people who don't want to be intelligent. So my books are falling down everywhere. I got all these. If you ever want to know a little bit about my book collection, these are some of the books I have in my office. I have Powernomics by Dr. Claude Anderson. I have the Blueprint for Black Power by Amos Wilson. This is a very thick book. I mean, my boy really worked hard on this one. This one really, he put his heart and soul into that. God bless him for that. This is my book, The New Black Power, which there's New Black Power 1 and 2. You can actually go to drboycebooks.com if you want to check out one of my books. Let me see what else is in here. Dr. Claude Anderson, he's the OG. So I got Dirty Little Secrets and The Black History Reader, these are great books for your kids to read during all this, chaos, this corona chaos. And I'm going to talk about that a little bit in a minute. And so anyway, do me a favor, hit the thumbs up button, hit the share button, hit the subscribe button real quick if you haven't done that yet. And let's get it cracking. Let's have this conversation. So here's what I wanted to do. I wanted to kind of help us sort through some of this information. I don't trust white people. I don't trust half of all black people. I don't trust media. And I just don't trust bullshit. I'm a scientist, so I do my own research. I'm not going to believe it because somebody said it on MSNBC, because I understand how media works. I understand how capitalism works. You have media, capitalist organizations and media that only make money when you are afraid. They only make money when you're afraid. Give me a yes or no if you've ever noticed this. Give me a yes or no if you've ever noticed how, if you watch, like, say, Fox News, every single day, every moment, they usually have something that says Fox News alert. And alert, alert, alert. Everything is Fox News alert. Ah! Ah! Right? Everything is a Fox News alert, right? And, then if you go over to CNN, everything with CNN is breaking story, breaking news, breaking story, right? So the media kind of, they play games with your head. That's what it is. So here's what I wanted to do. Here's what I did. So what I did was, I've been quarantined at home. I've been, at home with Alicia, and we have followed the rules. And I want to encourage everybody to follow the rules. Do what they tell you. Like, they tell you to stay home, take some time off, chill out. And I've been researching. I've been reading and researching, because I'm like, I need to understand what's going on. I need to understand it. I don't really want to just believe it because somebody sent me a fucking message on Facebook. I don't need to, just think I understand it because I heard a rumor. I don't really care what people are saying on Fox News or CNBC because I don't believe them. I don't want to just get my news from President Trump because he's a lying motherfucker. We know this. I need, I kind of want some information that actually gives me facts. I need facts, right? And so what I did was I researched and I found some facts. And I said, I told Alicia, I said, people are going to get mad at me. Because sometimes people don't like the truth. Sometimes people, they want to panic, or they want something that's going to be very alarmist, or they want a conspiracy theory, or they want something other than that which is logical and true. I'm not that guy. I'm not going to give you that. I'm going to give you what my heart of hearts is telling me to be the truth based on the research that I've done and what I've looked into and what I have found. So let me break this down for you. Okay, so first thing I want to share with you guys is this. I read this article today, and let me find the article. Let me go dig around and find this sucker. It's on my Facebook page, my personal Facebook page. It looks like my live stream on Dr. Boyce TV is going bad. So I think, let me know if you guys can hear me on drboycetv.com, because it looks like it's going out. I don't know why. I'll just put the recording up later. So here's an article I found on Biospace, and it compares the 2009 H1N1 vaccine or H1N1 pandemic with the 2020 coronavirus pandemic. Now, Asada Ali, I see you're asking a question about the black women that work with us. I'm not gonna really talk too much. I got a lot of people that maybe say things that aren't true, but I can say two things. One, most people who are my most vocal critics, because we all got critics. If you become successful, Asada, you're gonna have haters. Most of the people that criticize me the most are people who would not even have a career if I had not helped them. I helped them when they had nothing. Now they've got a lot. So I want you to kind of keep that in mind. Number two, we have rules. In our business, we have contracts. Everybody in here watching who has a business, you got to have contracts. And my rule is basic. When you violate the contract and you jeopardize the organization, I'm not dealing with you anymore. I'm not talking to you anymore. You got to talk to the lawyers at that point. So what I would just really say to you, Asada, I'm speaking to Asada because I want to make sure I'm going to address this one time. I'm not going to address it anymore. Go ask them about how many times I helped. I know who you're talking about in particular. But ask them how many times I helped them out financially when they were struggling. Go ask them how many thousands and thousands of dollars I put in their pocket when nobody else would give them anything. Ask them how many times I tried my best to work things out before it got ridiculous and lawyers had to be involved because this person insisted on violating contracts. If you violate contracts, then that tells me you're not doing business in an ethical manner, which means that I have to move on. I have to cut you off. And I'm not really going to keep on addressing this because a lot of people don't want to hear this type of stuff. But I think it's important to talk about that because when you get out here and you're really trying to do things and work with people, it's easy to paint a black man as the villain. Oh, he's successful, so he must be evil. Or look at him, it can't be true. He has to be this, he has to be that. No, if you get to the point where I think that you're disrupting the underlying organization, I'm going to just remove myself from that situation. I remove that toxicity. And it's like, go talk to the lawyers now, or go talk to the internet, go complain on the internet. So that's what it is. So those of you who think I'm not interested in talking about it, it's not that I wouldn't talk about it. It's just more so like I'd rather focus on other things. But at the end of the day, that's what it is. You break a contract, you've broken a rule, you violated in your integrity, you have jeopardized the organization, you have done something I consider to be unethical. I cut you off, and I give zero fucks if you think I'm a bad person at that point. It is what it is. So there you go. So thank you for that question, Asada. I addressed that out of respect for you, but I'm not going to talk about it anymore. So I just want to make sure that we had that quick conversation. So let me keep going. All right. So as far as what's going on with the COVID-19 panic or epidemic, here's the article I'm reading on Biospace. It says, as everyone should know, the world is currently experiencing the global pandemic SARS-CoV-2, the novel coronavirus that causes COVID-19. As of March 17, 2020, 194,873 people have been confirmed to have been infected, with 7,869 deaths. The majority are both in China, with 81,000 confirmed cases, which was where the epidemic originated. there have been more than 3,111 deaths in China from the disease. Currently, Italy is struggling with the disease with 31,506 confirmed deaths, confirmed cases, and 2,500 deaths. So moving on in this article, which I think is a really good one. Okay, I see a lot of you guys are saying it's buffering with no audio. Yeah, I wish you guys could see me on Dr. Boyce TV. I don't know what's going on. I don't know how to fix this. I apologize. I'll just load the recording. But anyway, so in this article, what they also talk about is the fact that when you look at the coronavirus, one thing they said it may be instructional to look at the H1N1 influenza pandemic of 2009. That's a good comparison point. COVID-19 is not the flu. It's not influenza, though it behaves similarly to the influenza. It is instead more accurately called a highly contagious viral pneumonia. So basically, it's pneumonia. It's highly contagious, and it's a virus. It's not a bacteria. Okay, so that says a lot right there. That tells you kind of the nature of what it is and how it works. Now, what I'm seeing here also is that they also said this. They said the virus in 2009, that pandemic is considered to be quite different from the typical H1N1 viruses that were circulating at that time. Very few young people had existing immunity, but about 1/3 of the people over 60 had antibodies against it. So effectively, with H1N1 in 2009, which President Obama, was the president at that time, he exhibited, good leadership in that situation. H1N1 actually affected younger people more than older people. Older people had an immunity to it, whereas younger people did not have an immunity. So most of the deaths were younger people. They said that at that time the vaccinations against seasonal flu didn't work very well against H1N1. So they said this is a useful reminder as well. Despite the launch of several clinical trials of vaccines against COVID-19, the most optimistic timelines don't have one commercially viable for at least 12 months. It is also worth noting that no one knows if the seasonality seen in the flu applies to the coronavirus. So they don't know if this is seasonal or if it's not seasonal. Let's see. So moving on. Here's some notes from the CDC. The CDC also points out that although the 2009 flu pandemic mostly affected children and younger and middle-aged adults, the global impact was less severe than earlier pandemics. It's early in the COVID-19 pandemic to get a really accurate sense of the fatality rate. One estimate by a group of infectious disease experts cites 1.4% in people that have symptoms. So that means that, according to these experts, if you have symptoms of COVID-19, you have a 1.4% chance of dying, about 1 in 85, 1 in 90, right? Now this was based on Wuhan, China. However, many experts believe the rate is high because it took a while for health authorities to understand what's going on. So they believe that even that 1.4% might be considered high because at that time, there were cases and they didn't know anything about them. So Jeffrey Shaman of the Mailman School of Public Health at Columbia University conducted a study on Wuhan and projected that in the early stages, as few as 14% of the cases were detected. So what they're basically saying is this. They were saying that they believe that it's a possibility that because a lot of the cases were not detected, that there were a lot of mild cases where people had it and healed and were totally fine. And they didn't add that into the total, right? So you think about it mathematically, the bigger the denominator is, the smaller the numerator, the smaller impact the numerator is going to have, right? So if you have so many deaths divided by the number of people infected, but you underestimate the number of infected people, then you're going to get a number that's higher than what it actually is. So basically he says, quote, I think there are many more than nearly 700,000 confirmed COVID-19 cases in Hubei province. And by that estimate, the actual fatality rate would likely be much lower. Earlier estimates were 2 to 3% with higher rates of almost 4%. Seasonal flu is 0.1%. Another aspect is that outside of Wuhan, the death rate in China was about 0.7%, or one fatality for every 100 cases. The other thing that they've stated in this virus, which is really interesting, is that Italy has been hit really hard. 31,506 confirmed cases, 2,503 deaths at the time of this writing. Now, one thing about Italy, though, is they said 90% of the deaths in Italy were to people that were over the age of 70. So if you take out that demographic, if you take out the people who were already senior citizens or had compromised immune systems or underlying significant health issues, the death rate is much, much lower, right? So does that mean that the virus isn't real? No, it does not. Does that mean that you should ignore it? No, it does not. Does that mean that you shouldn't protect yourself? No, it does not. But what it probably says to me, what it really says to me, is that maybe panicking isn't necessary. I think that there are things that we should panic about, and I end up looking crazy because I'll point out the things where I say, no, this is a problem. Like, we need to talk about this. Like, the mass promotion of drug abuse to young black men through hip hop music. We should panic about that. Like, that's a problem. That's destroying that's killing millions of people, right? Or heart disease. Actually, 746,000 people a year in America die from heart disease. So I said, maybe Lizzo mass promoting obesity as if it's a good thing. Maybe that's something we should panic about. Maybe that's one of the real viruses that's right under our nose that we're not paying attention to, that we should freak out about. So it's not that I don't believe that freaking out is ever appropriate. Sometimes you should freak out. Like, your child's going to get hit by a car, you should freak out about that. I don't know, some man's trying to rape you or something, you should freak out about that. Maybe, I don't know, you have a parent that's about to die, you should freak out about that. I don't know if the coronavirus fits in the freak out category. And I also don't know if freaking out and panicking is the best way to solve the problem. So I want to make sure that's clear, because what happens is that unintelligent people, that's why I say that my platform is only for smart people. It's not for dumbass people. Dumbass people won't get it. But unintelligent people, all they're going to hear from me is, Doc is telling everybody the coronavirus ain't real. I ain't never said that. Or, Boyce says, you must be a fake PhD because you're telling people that the coronavirus ain't serious and that we shouldn't take it seriously. When the fuck did I ever say that? Give me a quote where I said the coronavirus isn't a big deal at all, that nobody should care about it, that you shouldn't wash your hands and quarantine yourself and do all the things that they're telling you to do. I've always said that. What bothers me, though, here's what bothers me. When you panic about something, you're creating problems that you don't even have. It's like if let's say that somebody says, hey dog, there's a dude with a gun outside your house, right? Well, normal people are going to be like, well, what's that about? Let me go investigate. Let me go find out what's going on here, right? But a panic person might be like, oh shit, if he got a gun, he coming to kill me, man. I'm gonna get my strap. I'm gonna go shoot him in the head before he get a chance to get at me, player. I'm gonna take his ass out, right? And he don't even know all the facts. He doesn't even know the facts. So now you done went outside and shot somebody in the head because you're making assumptions that are making you look stupid, like a complete dumbass, because you didn't take the time to say, okay, let's figure out what's going on, and then let's react. Let's react to what is real instead of reacting to what is not real. When you react to that which is not real, you create very real outcomes and real consequences that you may not ever be able to reverse. So here's what's occurred. And this is why I'm mad at the media. The media loves a scary headline. This is the coronavirus situation and the destruction it's going to have on our psyches and on our economy is driven by the fact that America has an overcommitment to capitalism. Two key areas. One is the healthcare system. Your healthcare system's all fucked up. Like, you got people, you care more about money than you care about life. That's why you ain't got enough masks, ain't got enough respirators, ain't got enough hospital beds, ain't got enough hand sanitizer, because when it was time to invest money in whatever group in the government was supposed to prevent a pandemic, they decided to cut that budget. Why would you do that? Right? Why would you do that? Well, because you're a greedy capitalist and you just don't give a shit. Right? The other issue is where capitalism rears its ugly head is your media is largely driven by capitalist organizations. Most of your media is owned by companies that are trying to make a profit. Well, how do they make their profit? They make their profit with ratings. CNN gets money when you're glued to your TV, scared half to death, right? So every headline is going to be, when you watch Fox News, it's going to be an alert. It's going to, a Fox News alert. Fox News alert. One person died of the coronavirus today. Oh, Lord, the world's coming to an end. And so here's the thing. If I have a country of 330 million people and I tell you that 20 people died, that 20 people has nothing to do with you 9 times out of 10. But in your mind, because you're seeing it on TV, you're thinking, oh my God, I might die next, right? And they love it because they love to keep you scared. That's how they make their money. And now, is there a reason to be concerned? I think absolutely. They should keep you concerned. They should keep you informed, but they should not be keeping you mortified, because when people get mortified, everything shuts down. Entire economy shut down. People can't go to work. People are going to lose millions of jobs because we've shut down the entire economy over a virus that is impacting a very small percentage of the population. Perhaps it might make sense, just me saying this, me being the asshole right now in the room, maybe it makes more sense to go to the most vulnerable population, go to the senior citizens, go to those with pre-existing conditions, those with the weak immune systems, and isolate and quarantine those individuals. And if you have a person that is in that category in your household, then we quarantine the entire family and we send you all a big fat check every month, $5,000 a month, so you can pay all your bills and you can still be good and the rest of the economy can function. Because I'm just going to tell you like this. I don't really know, exactly the best way to deal with all of this. All I know is that when this dust settles and the coast clears, millions of people are going to have some real serious financial problems. When you can't pay your bills for 3 or 4 weeks in a row, that's a problem. That's going to be hard for people to come back from. Maybe people don't care. Maybe it doesn't matter to some people. But, there's a point where you have to say, it sucks. We got to make sure we wash our hands. Everybody wash your hands double time. Do social distancing, whatever. But we got to get back to work at some point because we have to be able to survive. So anyway, so moving on, let me just say this. I put a chart up on my Instagram page. My Instagram is The Real Boyce Watkins. So some of y'all are watching on Instagram now. Those of you who are not watching on Instagram, go follow me at The Real Boyce Watkins if you want your thinking to be challenged. If you're stupid or if you don't like your thinking to be challenged, then it's not the place for you. I'm only going to make you mad. But here's a chart that I put up on my Instagram, and it shows the average disease deaths per day worldwide. The top of the list, if you want to know what's killing people, if you want to know what epidemics are putting people in the grave, number one on the list is tuberculosis. 3,000 people per day worldwide die from tuberculosis. Number two is hepatitis B at 2,430 per day. Pneumonia kills 2,216 people per day. HIV/AIDS kills 2,110 per day. Malaria kills 2,002 people per day. Shigellosis, I don't even know what that is, kills 1,644 people per day, but it sounds terrible because it causes severe diarrhea and kills young children. Maybe we should panic about that. Maybe that's the crisis we should be addressing. Down at the bottom of the list is coronavirus, which according to this chart, which was made on March 19th, it kills 144 people per day. So it may have gone up. Maybe the number is now 250 per day. Maybe it's even 500 per day. But it doesn't come anywhere near shigellosis, which kills 1,644 children per day, and they die while having severe diarrhea, which sounds like a horrible way to go out as a 7-year-old. So at the end of the day, what I will say to you is if you're going to panic, then panic all the time. If you're going to panic over the things that are already killing us. If you're going to freak out over things that matter. I'm not saying that this isn't important. I'm not saying that this is not an issue, but this is what media picked. Media picked this one particular topic to cause you to freak out, when really when I look at 3,000 people dying per day over tuberculosis, my first question is, how do you stop that? Hepatitis B, pneumonia, HIV/AIDS. Anybody been down to Atlanta? You know how many black women every day are probably catching HIV in Atlanta from brothers that are dog tagging some other dude right before they go see their girlfriend? Like seriously, like so you've got things all around you that are affecting you. You've got things all around you that are already killing people, right? And so I just kind of think that we as a people have to get a little bit more intelligent. But then again, that's just my little fantasy. I always dreamed that the world would be smarter, but it ain't going to happen. People are just going to get mad and think that I say dog tagging. That was the word I just made up because I just couldn't think of the right word. I wanted to say something else, but I'm not going to say it like that. But anyway, yeah, I know, right? I didn't know what to say. I didn't know what word to say. I was thinking doggy style, right? You tagging that ass, right? So you mix it dog tagging. So that's where that came from. But I think overall, I think that we have to really process this in a way that makes sense. Again, reiterating, you should do everything they're telling you to do. You should wash your hands. You should social distance. You should quarantine yourself. Do everything that they're telling you to do. Never let anybody tell you, Dr. Boyce is telling people not to do it. No, I did not say that shit. I did not say that it's not serious. I did not say don't do what you're supposed to do. Do all of that, but just don't panic. You know, it's not. Chances are, it's not going to kill you. That's just what it is. I mean, the data does not lie. It doesn't mean that it can't grow. It's going to grow, right? Exponential growth is real. But there are countries around the world right now, today, that will show you video of a normal functioning society that has the coronavirus under control. There are people in Japan right now, today, who can send you pictures of people going about business as usual because they've got it under control. They got it managed. There are people in China right now, today, who can show you a country that was the epicenter of the virus, but now has it managed. So this too shall pass. This too shall be managed. Anybody who's running around giving these end of days prophecies like, oh my God, this is the end of the world, I don't really know what to do with you other than to recommend psychiatric help, because people like that are always predicting the end of the world is coming. And then it doesn't end, and then they end up looking stupid. So just, and I'm not talking to everybody. I'm talking to the people that got common sense. People who don't have common sense or intelligence, I don't know what to help you. I don't know what to do to help you. Maybe you can go get Jesus or something. So anyway, I'm about to go, guys. Hit the thumbs up button, hit the share button, hit the subscribe button. Also, some of you are asking about this shirt. We show shirts, really cool shirts like this. If you go to wokeblacktees.com, that's wokeblacktees.com, you can check it out. The reason it says because we are black is because I believe that we have to work harder because we're black. We have to stick together because we're black. We have to educate our children because we're black. We have to build wealth because we're black. All the rules of being black are different from what they tell you. And I'm very much I'm not gonna say anti-integration, but more so I question integration, because integration makes you think that being black is not unique, that it's not a unique situation, it's not a unique set of circumstances. And I believe that the first thing you gotta learn when you're trying to be a successful black person is that because you're black, the rules are different. And because we're black, we have to play the game a little different from everybody else. So if you want to go get a shirt like this, feel free. Go to wokeblacktees.com. That's wokeblacktees.com. So take care, guys. I'm out of here. Hit the thumbs up button on your way out. And once again, my Instagram is TheRealBoyceWatkins, so feel free to go follow me there. Talk to you guys soon. Take care. Peace.
Here we are, clan the isms, cataclysm great. Our people out here struggling, trying to make it in this state. Everybody out here doing it, but we the ones who late. Now family, we the ones who gotta delegate. Get that money in the power, never be fake. Stick to cosign for 3. What did he say? Create jobs, support our own. Educate the same and buy back your home. Got 3 degrees, triple 10. 3 PhDs, now we on the CNN. DBTV, let's talk about negligence. Ignorance is bliss, but we can turn it to intelligence. Believe none of what you hear, half of what you see. Let's break it down here on Dr. Boyce TV. Here we are.